welcome to this Monday Masterclass. My name is Karin the Fleyt, and I was asked by the British Flute Society to participate in making a video for this Monday Masterclass series. You have just been listening to me playing the beginning of the flute solo work Xi by Karin. I chose this work Xi to work on the performance practice and the use of quartertones, or to be more precise, the use of microtones. I myself have learned a lot by practicing quartertone fingerings, and this is still embedded in my daily routine as a teacher and a performer. But don't get me wrong, I also play an Eva Kingma quartertone alto flute myself, which I'm very fond of. In this case though, working on minor timbral shades, I really enjoy and recommend learning all these fingerings you can find between quartertones. So today, I would like to guide you through this micro world using the flute music by composer Karin. Now, what I find particularly interesting in Stockhaus's music for flute is this meaning of microtones. The timbral use of microtones is essential in his oeuvre. And this means that a performer will have to be very flexible in the use of airflow and the evenness of air column in order to bring out the specific timbre and the dynamic shades that occur with every tone. For example, an F quartertone down on a flute without quartertone keys is sounding very mellow, and it responds less, for instance, than the F itself, like I demonstrate here. This is the F. Quartertone down. This is something that should not be neglected, but it can be seen as an opportunity to work on your tone as a widened skill. So what I would like to do first in today's masterclass is to put all the microtones in a form of a scale to extend your technical skills when using different, perhaps new fingerings in combination with adjustable airspeed. To do so, I would like to start playing from the third octave G downwards in a pattern of semiquavers. Eventually we could do this to the first octave A, but maybe for now up till the second octave A. So we will use microsteps. You can find many interesting fingering charts for quartertones on the internet, but I would like to use this notation from the Stockhausen score itself, as shown in this example. So now I will play a microtone scale starting from the third octave G down up till the second octave A. Let's do this another time. Playing microtone scales is also very useful to memorize different fingerings. So what I would like you to do with this is to play this scale over and over again. You could each time start with a different tone, for instance a semitone down up till where we land on the A first octave. I demonstrate it here. So having done this exercise a couple of times, you will notice that the aim is to get an even and a warm sound throughout, especially being aware of the softer sounding quarter tones and adjust the embouchure where necessary to obtain an even flute sound. You can always come back to this part of the video and play along, or challenge yourself to play in different tempo and so on. The more you start to include this into your practice, the easier of course it will get to memorize all the different fingerings eventually. So, let's go to the score of one particular flute solo piece by Stockhausen, Xi. Xi is part of the Light opera cycle, Licht, that Stockhausen composed between 1977 and 2003. As Xi is a Greek letter meaning unknown quantities, it provided a chance for flautist Katinka Pasveer, who premiered this piece in 1987, to experiment and to be very detailed in the amount of notes she could use between semitones and quarter tones. The result is a stretching glissando between intervals, which defines the material for the Monday segment of the super formula that Stockhausen used for this particular piece. If you're interested in knowing more about the super formula used in Stockhausen's work, you can find this on the Stockhausen website, karlheinzstockhausen.org. In the realization of the score for Xi, flautist Katinka Pasveer played a vital role in finding all the fingerings to fill in the long rhythmical values that form the base of this work. The number of microsteps used by the player will make each realization of the score different, and this is encouraged by the composer himself. So you could make your own realization, as long as you keep the durations of the original composition. What I would like to do now is to split up the score line per line and work on the performance practice, more specifically on the microsteps and their performance practice, together with you. With each line I will explain a little about the technical challenges and how to learn the different techniques. Let's go to the first line of the score. As you can see, this first line happens all very much in the lower range of the flute. Therefore, it's a very good practice for our little finger, which has to move a lot. So let's work a little bit on this interval from F to C with all the microsteps in between. That is what we aim for, to have a very smooth going melody with all those microsteps audible but not forced. Or later in this line. One more time. If we do this in tempo, it would be when you familiarize yourself a little bit with these new fingerings, you will find that more of the same fingerings will reoccur in the score, giving you more confidence in performing them. In the second line of this piece, we see similar material again, but now we have an added layer of singing. And the trick is with this particular piece that as it covers the whole lower, middle, third octave range of the flute, whilst singing a stable note F, different technical problems might occur where some of the notes are not in the same dynamic, or you need to alter your airflow. So this is in itself a very good practice to be very precise in what you play. So let's focus on this second line, the beginning. The accents are pulses with the diaphragm, and when you gradually move away from that low F, your singing keeps with this F. So there's some nice wave shapes that occur, which are meant to be really audible and pushing through the music. One more time. So although you need to balance both layers, when performing it, when playing it, you really strongly feel that the singing is much louder than the playing. So this is in order to get a even balance of both the layers when someone listens to this. Let's now focus on where it says the irregular or the unregelmäßig zusätzlich zu gemessene Zeit. So irregular filling in of the notes without having to count on top of the singing F. So there's lots of trembling happening and shifting of the pitch. So it's very important to keep the tone as pure as possible whilst focusing on having or maintaining this singing F. I'll do one more time. Let's play the first half of this line. This is something you can already focus on in your practice. And from there we have an actual scale happening from the lower F up till this third octave G. This is what we did in the first half of this masterclass in trying to combine all the fingerings to make up a microtonal scale. So now we start on the lower F, go up to the G. Let me play it once, just to give you an idea of the shape. And pay attention to the dynamic, because we start in a fortissimo, very loud, and gradually, when going up, a dim up to this high G. One more time. So what you could do is focus on the main beats or pulses so that those gradually get softer in the diminuendo, and then you also grab where you are in terms of fingering with the scale. So that would be What I didn't mention yet is that this is very important to practice with the metronome, so that you keep in the tempo that is given. Saying this goes very much for where we are now in the third line, midway, where you see the pulse written in by the composer, where we try to be very irregular in the placement of the different microsteps. So you would have your metronome on 60 and be very precise in the placement, resulting in this. myself find it especially interesting to have these countings happening, because then I can, in a way, prepare better for my breathing, knowing how long exactly I need to carry on. In this case, 3 groups of 4 notes. You will also have noticed that there is this grace note F happening all of a sudden whilst playing these high notes. So this has to come out clearly without changing the expressive sound of the flute, but it shouldn't disturb your upper layer of microsteps. So let's do this one more time. Which brings us to the 4th line of the score. So we start on the D, 3rd octave, and we have to go up to the 1st octave A, using as many steps as we can in between notes. So let me play once the material. As you notice, there is this big crescendo happening towards the A that starts with a big accent as well. So this is very important to take in account, that you keep the airflow and airstream going so that it results in a big explosion on that lower A. There are some groups given again, 4 notes, 6 notes, 12 notes, so that's all to help you in the counting, or to more or less know very precise where you are in your scales. So you can use this in your practice and say you add up each time with another group. So you can go from and so on. So you have a go at that until you're really very sure about the fingerings, and then you put it all into context. So let's finish with just playing this last line one more time. So we have gone through the material of this piece C, using all possible fingerings for the microtones in this work. I hope you have enjoyed exploring this piece together with me, and that you fancy having a go yourself at learning this piece. Feel free to contact me with any questions or suggestions, and I would like to end with saying many thanks to the British Flute Society and also to you for attending this online masterclass. Bye!